Let's attack on the facility that launches or produces the silkworm missiles. Anti-ship missiles. It's a bit of a problem. Without a doubt, we're within line of fire of a lot of enemy units. So who wants to go first? I need to get him inside somehow. Right. The main use of these has to be the ability to scout. Here we go. It's a AA gun. Old shitty. I don't give a crap about that. It's something that we don't want to get too close to, but it's not a good one against long-range targets. As shitty as these vehicles are, they're still much more accurate than the stationary AA guns. Yeah, and fuck me. We did learn something. There doesn't appear to be any serious enemy threat here. So this opening is probably the only place where they can see us, and it has helicopters. I think we are fairly well positioned to move troops closer to hills at the very least. No. No, that's fairly far away though. So I don't think I'm particularly wrong on this one. Yeah, it all fired through that opening. It's the only opening they have. But still, it's not exactly without its issues. More importantly, only one unit fired on us, so they don't have a huge amount of tanks lined up there. I think my initial impression was correct in that they don't have a huge army, so any casualty, serious casualty on our side will basically cause us to lose this. I need smoke there. I would very much like to get into position with these. That would solve a lot of my problems. Where's the fire coming from? Yeah, we have to close that opening. Every shot that comes through comes from that opening. I don't think there's enough smoke here to do that though. Still, we know more or less where they're positioned. They're on these little ridges all over the place. More or less in the final third of the map. How much smoke can I get there though? Doesn't matter if it doesn't actually hit the hex I'm aiming at, as long as it goes in the general area. I'm not sure how the hell we're supposed to get through this. Again, we cannot suffer a lot of casualties, otherwise we are boned anyway. It's not about us just trying to avoid or casualties. This is the first turn. If I start to get any kind of serious casualties here, there's no point continuing. We could we sort of have to use the helicopters, but the enemies will not fire on the helicopters. The anti-tank units will not fire on them. The center would have been a better location to approach things because now we know that these are unoccupied. It provides pretty much perfect cover. This is they can fire from the lower angle at the top units and from that angle to the center. So there's just a huge gap there that I can't really easily fill out with anything. Ammunition losses, smoke ammunition losses don't really matter to me because if I can get through the early start, we're in a fairly good position to handle everything. We don't see quite enough. This is going to be most of our smoke ammunition. Still, great hits all over. I wonder if it's safe enough to go there. We're still going to have to risk some helicopters. It's also vital that we get something that can shoot at the AA guns. I don't mean the vehicles, I mean the proper guns. So, okay. With a half a dozen missile launchers there, they're gonna be able to do a lot of damage on the next turn. Pretty much every tank that we can expose, they have enough firepower to kill it. So. But then what? Could fire a few smoke rounds there. Just to block the line further. That's it, we're fairly secure here now. If not, we'll just have to live with it. This is a bigger problem. Although we have some smoke there already, so it's not necessarily a catastrophe no matter what happens. Yeah, I think it pretty much blocks the essential areas. I think one of the enemy tanks might be able to fire at us. Right now I can't see the ridge at all anymore, which means they probably can't see us either. Probably. I don't think this is necessary, but at the same time I don't really see a point why I should take chances with this. They will have some sort of artillery. Don't want to go there. Might not be a horrible place, but we're trying to minimize the chance of going to places where they can just as easily shoot at us. Javelin teams are totally worthless. I suppose I could try to move them on this hill. I don't think that would really make a difference. At the same time, I don't think it'll make a difference whether we move or not, so I'm gonna move. Right, we still need to save some smoke shots. But we need to get from this out of this position very quickly. Might be able to patch some of the holes here. It's worth it. And it was not worth it. Once we get rid of the few tanks they without a doubt have, we can just park on the hills with the artillery pieces and rain crap on the rest of the units. Right, things are looking fairly good at this point. Now we just need to lure out their anti-air units. I'm not going too close this time, I will stay on this, my half of the map. That likely means that they don't have the accuracy at these ranges to shoot me down. My previous mistake was to go too far to the left so quickly. Never fire on the guy who has suppression. looking fairly good. Probably should not stay at high altitude though. There's a good chance we would react and just destroy any unit firing at us, but better not press my luck on that one. Right. Our situation here has improved significantly. We are in fairly good cover. 3 anti-air vehicles have been taken out. Without a doubt there are more, but I don't actually know that. Ooh, they are charging us. This changes things quite a bit. It changes things for the better quite a bit, because it means I'm basically still under cover of smoke, and I'm in a great firing position against them. Yeah, 24 targets. Pick your pick. More or less we just need to re-establish the smoke screen and that'll be it. We'll keep firing for a couple of turns. That should cause catastrophic moral failure on their front. Still, there's a lot of tanks coming our way, so this isn't exactly risk-free for us either. I'm hitting like shit. Not too big of a problem at this stage, but it will become a big problem if I can't improve my accuracy significantly. And I do need to re-establish smoke screens. We do have smoke ammunition. Don't think that's good enough. If we lose these, they're coming at us at such a low angle that we do need to maintain these smoke screens too. You don't have. You really don't have smoke ammunition, okay. So there's a little bit of a timer issue here too. The limit to how long we can maintain this. There's also high probability that not every tank they have is gonna just blindly rush at us, so there's still that to worry about. Okay, engineers. They already reached this, so they can easily reach those. And I need infantry here somewhere, because the vehicles are pretty much giving it everything they have most of the turns. I need something else to hold the line here, just in case they manage to rush through somehow. Full engineering squad should be able to do it. Right, the rest of you can just wait. Helicopters are going to target units that are ready for action and are likely to make progress. Just want to slow them down a little bit. They seem to be making just a huge rush toward us, infantry and all. Final one. Right, let's take the steam out of their assault a little bit. Yeah, it's just a gigantic wave of units coming our way. And I say there's a high probability that everything pretty much they have is coming our way. So if anything, this just makes my job a lot easier. Once we get rid of most of the vehicles, we can use the helicopters to spot the infantry. We have a huge amount of artillery, so we can just blast them away. gonna spread the missile love a little bit, in the hopes that we'll at least damage or destroy more units. Too many are immobilized. They need to be taken out very, very, very quickly if I can't get the kills now. First thing is to forget about them. And that's all the missiles I had. Right. The engineers can hold the line here. I'm also pretty sure that if the APCs come through, the self-propelled artillery has enough firepower to punch through their armor. Just not hitting at all. And the chances of hitting are fairly good too, but just not getting the hits. So this is starting to become dangerous for us. It's really the helicopters can do anything at this point. 35 incoming. All targets have to be tanks. I'll have to figure out something a little bit more than this on the next turn. It's an old-fashioned AA gun, I'm not particularly worried about firing at us. There's a lot more infantry than I thought. Just looking at there's just a carpet of them. So yeah, we're gonna need a lot of our self-propelled artillery needs to get out of this one. Luckily we have them, but still. Still good kills again. Helicopters are keeping things sort of at a manageable situation. Enough casualties that they can't be pushing toward us too aggressively. A lot of their units are going to be retreating or at least staying put. These two have to be destroyed. It's an entire turn now that they can't move. Ooh, that's dangerous. Okay, things are getting a little bit complicated. It's like a tank threat is no longer the largest one. There's a couple of missile units, a lot of APCs, and a lot of infantry. Where are the missile units? They're fairly accurate, so we don't really want to give them a chance to fire. We also need to re-establish the smoke screen. I think it's still worthwhile to re-establish it once more. After that, we're going to just go on the offensive. Right. Now we need to destroy the units that we immobilized. They're way too big of a threat at this stage. Two tanks right beside each other immobilized. I don't think I can see them, or they might be abandoned. Right. Now just look things through here. Yep. Abandoned, abandoned. This crew will go back into the tank though. Any better targets? Right. Abandoned, 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 abandoned. We need to get rid of that crew somehow. Otherwise it'll climb back into this little goddamn tank, causing me grief. Okay, there doesn't appear to be all that much of a reaction at this point anymore. Doesn't mean I want to necessarily stay here yet, but at least push the smoke screen forward. Get into better firing positions. APCs at least are a threat to my self-propelled artillery unit, so more smoke. We have more smoke. Right. Do we even have any good targets for the helicopters anymore? Yes, not that many, but we do have them. I think this is the last turn we're gonna stay on the defensive. There is a time limit after all, and there could be a lot of enemies we'll have to swim through to get to our real targets. Especially infantry is like that. It's very easy to underestimate because you can't really lose to it, but you can easily lose on a timer. You more or less have to go point blank to effectively counter them. No effect from the missile. First vehicle you see is the target. Ooh. Pass armor. Easy kill. That's about it. I think I'll bring the AA. No, I need to re-establish smoke screens here. We're running low on smoke ammunition here, but that's not too big of a problem. This should be the last time we'll have to use it. Bring the AA vehicles up front so they can see through the smoke. They're decent against infantry and the APCs. Maybe some of the artillery pieces too. At least a little bit closer, if nothing else. Some crew exiting map and that's it. So as far as I'm concerned, this fight is basically over now. There's a huge amount of enemies left, but they don't have the backbone anymore to make that much resistance. They got too many casualties while being surrounded by the intact units. So the intact units lost all their morale. Right, we're going full in at this point. Show yourself through the smoke. Just shoot whatever you can. Don't care. We'll still be fairly careful with this, so we're not gonna make a huge charge in any direction. Already units are our target. Ooh, Mr. AA gun wants to pick a fight. Classic AA gun. Reacting to things it can't even really destroy at these distances, while not reacting to any way that the helicopter is popping up to shoot. Right, that gun is worthless anyway. Mobilized tank, so they did go in back inside there. I'll move with the helicopters to last. There still should be a couple of vehicles. well, one vehicle. I wouldn't move these units anywhere, no matter what they have left in them. They're a good backup. Ooh, and their HQ unit is there, also charging at us. Interesting choice. I might be able to shoot at the AA gun. I certainly can't shoot at anything else. And I can cause casualties to that. So our ammo situation, not that great, but we have an ammo truck there. Yeah, I think we're gonna just reposition a little bit after I'm done shooting. Ammo truck will refill all the missile launchers here. Anti-air. Not sure how big of a hurry should we be to rush forward. I'm really leaving a lot of shots on this turn because I don't know where the infantry really is. I've destroyed a couple of APCs here too, so for all I know, they could have left a decent amount of infantry behind. "26 targets. Can you shoot at the AA gun? Yes. I guess it's retreated as a vehicle of some sort, basically. AA gun destroyed. Don't know why would we need an ammo truck here, but might as well move with the rest of the army. There are no real close by targets. Where's their HQ? We might as well fire at that at this point. It'll make things simple for us later on. I can't actually see it. Ready crew. I don't want the crew to get ideas about going back into the tanks. HQ or crew? HQ, survivors disperse. That's pretty much the last nail on their coffin. They're trying to move along the road to attack us. Pretty much the worst possible direction you can really go. It's fast, but there's no cover, so you take a huge amount of casualties from artillery shells. Not like they have a lot of good options though. Any good targets? A couple pin squads, that's about it. Don't care at all what we're shooting at this point. They don't have good targets to shoot at, so we might as well just shoot anything that pops in our way. It's not like we have just like a few artillery units or not. We have so many. We probably have equal amount of artillery units to their infantry, or very close to that at least. So they're in such a hopeless position. The closer to me they get, the more hopeless it turns. To be fair, the starting position was troublesome, but a different deployment option for the army would have solved that too. I just wanted to sort of save time while not having to do that. An excessive amount of smoke to the rescue. I would be interested in knowing what you would do when the opposition army can basically see through smoke too. That would force us to do something different again. Getting a little bit troublesome to use all these things. A lot of helicopters left, naturally. Right. High altitude, go take a look. There we go. That's the stuff. Why? If they're too far away, we can't hit it. I think we want to go back into cover. We have the units necessary to take care of those. But the helicopters are not bad. Good anti-infantry weapons, so I have a range of around 20. So, not good. There are no vehicles, so we don't have to worry about that. Enemy artillery piece. We'll have to start moving very quickly soon. We can't just assume that they don't have any kind of real defenses on those flags. They probably don't have too big of a defense force there, but they've gotta have something. They're starting to reach the point where the artillery pieces can enough damage that they'll die, not just run away. So why can't shoot at that guy? Can't see anything. Right, we need to get the helicopters here now, otherwise this is going to be incredibly dangerous. The self-propelled artillery units are not going to be able to spot the infantry before they drive into them. Actually, I think we should move the helicopters now, while we still have artillery pieces that haven't fired. So if we encounter some sort of trouble, we can actually react to that. Right. High altitude spot for me. That's what I'm talking about. Where is it? Ooh, that's in a nasty location. It's pretty much impossible for me to offer a support fire against that. I would have to just go in and take care of myself. That's pretty goddamn risky though. Just directly fly against an AA gun. Not even close. It's fired so much now that I don't think it's much of a threat to the helicopter. I'm just gonna have to go in and take care of it. I'm sure there are a lot of forces in the buildings. That's are these SAM sites? Why the fuck didn't they fire? Any chance someone could see it? Ooh, there's more of them. Okay, this is a slight problem, I'd say. I don't see there's not much I can do but just basically rush them and hope for the best. But we are basically we're out in the open against them, I think. Especially you. Okay, that has to die. Not necessarily the rest. Ooh, you do have the ability to move, so... We still should try to take these out now. I don't care why they haven't been firing, but let's keep it that way. Could have some setting that they sort of want to lure me in. At least this time they had anti-air capabilities. I have no idea why they didn't shoot. I might have a theory. I've noticed it's happened to myself at times. If there's a reaction fire, there's no guarantee that everyone who can do a reaction fire will fire. Usually just one unit. So the fact that he had the shitty AA guns there was actually a detriment to him. Still, I find it odd. He fucked up somehow, but I'm not sure how exactly. They should have fired. We have 10 turns left. There's a huge amount of enemies left, probably the south. Right. Ah. We're going to have to move units here to counter that. There's way too many infantry spots for me to just ignore. Alright, so the P group is gonna be staying here to welcome our little infantry friends. I need something that can spot them a little bit better though. So one of the helicopters has to come back here and offer support. Still pushing forward at least. Just retreating units. I'm sure these were occupied at the start of the mission. They've just moved away from them. More or less this area is. That's all I want to know. Do we want to stay here? We sort of have to protect at least that flag, so we can't just move forward with everything. Actually, I'll leave you here just in case. A single loss of a artillery piece is not gonna hinder us in any serious manner. It's pretty much our insurance against someone getting through. Right. You're gonna be a spotter. Ignore all targets, just come here and show me what they've got. There are still units here capable of operating, so we'll have to be somewhat careful. Hello friends, time to dive. Let's spread the love around a little bit so they won't be able to act so easily. still have intact squads left though. Moral-wise, they're not in all that good of a position to do anything. They still can act. They're not gonna retake anything, but I also can't just casually drive through them. I'd rather focus on wiping out squads at this stage instead of just driving them away. We've already achieved that. I'm fairly certain we've spotted probably most of their units. There might be a couple of infantry squads I can't spot from the air all that easily. There won't be that many. Just kill it. Single crew. I'm not sure I should drive the trucks there. One of the few units that can be destroyed by the infantry without any trouble. We'll lose the infantry inside, likely too, so why take the chance? Okay, they're certainly not getting through here. They might want to throw the waves and waves of their men at us, but it won't make any kind of a difference. And I don't think I want to move these artillery pieces too much either at this point. We're gonna have a limited amount of ammunition, but I'm confident it's enough to handle whatever they throw at us. Yeah, they can't do anything. Need to clean up this point infantry so there cannot be any counter attacks after we start taking flags. think that's the last of the enemy troops. There are no good targets anymore. Might as well just start cleaning up. These guys are getting so many kills that there's a good chance we'll get every heat helicopters. Yeah, 30 kills so far. I'll save my shots with this one. The infantry has a reasonable chance of trying to reach us. Right, if we can stop this guy from being in a ready condition, they really have no infantry that can reach us. But we're fairly safe. We do need to reach that one too. Right, these artillery pieces can certainly move forward. We have so many artillery pieces here, not everyone has to just wait and shoot a couple of infantry spots coming our way. It's the last squad that was ready to move. It's not gonna be doing anything anymore. Right. So we should be fairly secure here too. It's just more of a cleanup job at this point. Might as well push for a quick ending it. There's no point trying to kill every little infantry guy there is here. They're trying to come here and retake these. Huh. I'm out of ammo. Still gonna go and take a look to see what the opposition here is. Special, so where's the ammo truck? We have a single shot that we can use against the infantry, so yeah. We'll get some ammo. Doubt we'll ever have a chance to use it, but still. One ready, couple pinned, rest is retreating. And we're pretty much out of ammo too. Right. Don't see any targets. Doesn't matter. We should start to drive toward these areas. If the artillery pieces can't make progress, we can use the anti-air defense vehicles to drive to the flag. But I can drive it right now. Right. That's a wrap on this mission. We'll kill as many units as we can. The experience is always welcome. The last squad was ready. Once we get that to route it, they really have nothing left. we'll just drive forward. If we see enemy infantry, we'll fire. If not, then not. Not sure there's much point in getting experience for these guys though. I suppose the point value for the kills is still useful. Right, end of the mission. Troublesome start, but that's about it. 2,211 points versus 0 on China. They don't have basically any capability of doing a armor rush at us. They just don't. At the same time, they clearly now have the capability of countering my helicopters too, though. Through some miracle, their SAM site just didn't fire on us. I don't know why. I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Because the enemy computer just attacks with everything he has in a wave, so I would have still just fired smoke and hidden behind it. In that sense, it would not have made a difference, but it still would have reduced my ability to use the helicopters. So it would have shifted things slightly in their favor, give the armor push a little bit of a chance. I didn't have that many anti-armor units. The missile vehicles can fire a massive amount of missiles on the first time they shoot. But after that, it's just a single missile, so 6 missiles every turn. And if there's a huge wave of tanks coming your way, you're not gonna get a kill on each shot, so maybe 3 to 4 tanks in the best case scenarios. So it's not really, it's more about where you shoot. So a couple of kills in the correct place can stop a dozen tanks from rolling forward. If you just pick some kind of outlier tank somewhere, it's pretty much worthless. It's not gonna stop anything, it'll just take out a tank. 2 tanks taken out in the middle of a force, and there's a huge impact on the force itself. Your forces took the port city of Haicheng and demolished all the missile bases in the surrounding areas. Chinese government, seeing the futility of trying to hold on to Taiwan, withdrew all their troops from the island nation. Thanks to your efforts, the United States Marine Corps contained the power of China and re-established the independence of Taiwan. You are to return to headquarters so that the commanding general can personally congratulate you on your great job in the liberation of Taiwan. In some ways, this was probably one of the easier campaigns that we've had in a while. It's all about the air superiority you have and what type of missile capabilities the opposition carries. I don't see a point in if you're going to use helicopters, you can't just use 1 or 2. That's any kind of random roll of dice can take that out. You really want to go something where you have a clear superiority. But even that's counterable through, I feel, infantry anti-air missiles are the best counter for that. They're not the best in the sense that they're the most likely to hit and take down the target, but you need to. They're the easiest to actually get to the point where they get to shoot at the enemy helicopters quite a lot. Because you can easily the anti-armor missiles cannot be targeted at them, and you can easily divert enemy fire enough that you have at least a couple of free shots at the enemy helicopters. Their only real weakness is that they have like 4 shots, maybe three, 4 shots at the maximum, and then they're out. So you really need to think about at what point do you have to fire. A couple of aircraft flown attack aircraft in direct fire out of map, and they're out of ammunition, and they're very unlikely to do anything to the aircraft too. So at the same time, those out of map aircraft are very expensive to buy. So it's a waste of points basically to use them for that. And infantry surface to air missile, they're cheap as hell, so you can afford a lot of them. Actually, out of curiosity, yeah, this is pointless to say, but where's the encyclopedia? Can probably just load anything. What I want to know is the cost. The typical anti-air vehicle versus the infantry SAM. Cost of 18. Not actually all that expensive, but to be fair, this is a worthless piece of crap. I don't think this might have once in this campaign hit a helicopter. And it costs 18, doesn't have any vision, has some fire control, so it's basically a mobile 37mm AA gun. It's fine. You do have to take them out, but it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. How about a Sam? It's not gonna be Sam, it's something else. Infantry Sam. 2 points. So yeah. One of these that are trivial to take down with the helicopters they are trying to counter, or 9 of these, which are more accurate against the helicopters. And if you get a hit on a helicopter, it doesn't have to go down. It's gone if it takes any kind of a hit. So yeah, I feel like there's nothing particularly wrong with the Chinese force options. It's just that the computer has some kind of a very set type of army where it uses certain amount of points to certain things and it favors certain units over others. So it doesn't actually fight in the most sensible way or cost efficient way against a likely threat. Anti-tank missile teams are fairly expensive, so they won't lose to the vehicles quite so badly. I mean, in that case, a vehicle makes a lot of sense. A lot of the APCs are the most cost-effective anti-tank units available. They have infantry capabilities, some armor, anti-tank missiles, some fire control, vision. They're very good units overall. Right, a vision of about 20. Not enough to see through smoke, I think, but still they have a gun that can destroy other APCs. They have a missile that can destroy tanks, and they have a machine gun. And only cost 20, when a RPG team that's basically worthless costs 10, 13. So this is a decent investment already, and that's the most expensive version. And the cost of 2 very vulnerable anti-tank missile teams that are only useful for those 2, 3 missiles they might be able to fire, versus an entire APC that is very versatile and can take on a lot of threats. left fast. Not that big in size either. So APC is probably the best real choice they have. I don't think they utilize these all that much. They just want the cheap units to move the infantry around. So I blame the AI more than anything about how these fights are going. And my biggest fear is that's how it's basically going to be. That he's going to do the same things at every campaign, and there's not much I can do about it. Ooh, Okinawa should be us against Japan? Korea probably against North Koreans again. But that would be terrible because North Korea didn't have much of a chance in the 50s when the technology difference wasn't that big. In 1998, they're going to be annihilated. I don't have a clue what this is. This is probably green versus red. It will be Germany and the Bulge. But either way, 5 campaigns left, and I'm dreading playing them because I think they're gonna be China War repeated over and over and over again. Hopefully not, but yeah.